I'm calling this meeting to order. Hello, everyone.
Hi, David.
It's much easier to run a meeting when I can see everyone, alas. Is there any public comment? Is there any public? Is anyone here? Okay, approval of minutes. Does everyone have the minutes?
Yes.
They're wonderfully detailed, as we expect, no less. Sandy, I did just send you the posting link for any approved minutes.
I have that, and the minutes are in for the last meeting.
You did put the minutes on last meeting?
I did.
Okay, because I just went to check before I said anything. Huh. All right. If they don't show up.
I thought I checked. I thought they were there. Hang on.
Maybe my computer's just totally.
No, they're not there. I don't know why, because I sent them in.
Okay. Are you willing to check that?
I will take care of it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll get a hold of them and find out why not. But I sent them in, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
Somewhere back.
Okay. So does anyone have any changes to the minutes? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make such a motion.
Okay. And that was Janet?
Yes.
And I will second that. And let's take a roll call vote. Janet?
Aye.
Deb?
Deb,
Deb?
you have to unmute.
Thank you. Aye.
Okay. Sandy?
Aye.
And I'll say aye. So the minutes are approved. The Crowell Barn landscaping project. I just sent a summary on that. Let me pull it up on my, nope, wrong place. Just bear with me. I seem to be moving slowly this morning. No, that's not it. Okay. All right. So Paul Doan is back from, I keep saying Arizona, back from New Mexico. And he tried to get a couple things taken care of before he came back so that he could get started. And he, Joe Powers, and I met maybe a month and a half ago. And I thought we had a procedure worked out. Joe Powers was talking about possibly putting this through a gift category on behalf of the town. And I was suggesting that it really didn't have to be that formal. If the gifts simply came through Paul and he was overseeing the installation on the property, that should be sufficient. And I had understood Joe Powers to agree with that, and then he would just let the Board of Selectmen know at the appropriate time. Paul Doan was getting wet feet about making sure he didn't want to solicit donations until we were sure that there were no issues with the town. So I summarized that. I sent it to Joe a couple of weeks ago, and that is now copied to you folks as of this morning. I've not been able to get a reply from Joe. And I had a meeting with the new assistant town administrator, Megan Eldridge, and she said Joe was gone this week, and she took a printed copy from me of this summary, and she's going to just try to run it by him and get his okay. So I talked to Paul, who's now back. He's a little frustrated, as am I, and he's going to go ahead and finish making those small revisions to the plan that we asked him to do last time. And then hopefully by the time that's complete, we'll have the okay from the town administration. I don't know if that makes sense. Anybody have any questions?
I know Joe has just bought a house last week, and he's in the process of moving. So that's
Yeah.
why he's out. But
Okay.
it's hard to get anything out of town hall right now. I know we're having some issues down at the construction of just getting anybody in to okay things.
I'm sorry, Sandy. What are you? what are your issues with which project?
The mini golf down is just hard getting anybody out to inspect and, okay things. For some reason, it's just all clogged up.
Yeah, I know. I think it's some pretty meager responses. I will say that and I'm jumping the gun in terms of the foundation repairs. I had a meeting that was scheduled originally with Joe, with Megan, and with the town engineer, Griffin Ryder, and found out that, well, Megan was the only one who was there. I guess that Joe, as you say, is moving into his new house. But Griffin has taken a job in Brewster. So that will add to any backlogs, as they won't have a town engineer for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not. So I think since I'm in a public meeting, I'll just keep my comments at that.
There's a lot to be
Okay.
said.
I'm having trouble hearing, so
It's a mess.
okay, so we can all agree on that. Anyone want to know anything else about the landscaping project? It's not much further along, and we're hoping that it will be soon.
I just have a quick comment on behalf of the Kroll Barn Committee.
Yes.
We were definitely in favor of doing some work around the barn. The only thing that almost everyone had an issue with was the flower beds that were proposed. I believe Ted Harmon's words were Elmer Kroll was not a flower person. So that's really just the only adjustment that we would like to see to Paul's proposal. But everything else, Paul had presented to the Kroll Barn Committee again last month, and those were just their comments.
Okay, Marie, could you make it a point to tell that directly to Paul?
I can try,
I will try to
was
remember to do it as well.
but yeah, I can email you about some of those comments as well.
Why don't you email me and either copy him or I will forward it to him, either way.
Yeah,
David?
I'll CC him as well.
Perfect. That'll work.
I'm having trouble recalling exactly what the flower plan was, according to Paul's plan.
The flower plan?
Well, when you say Elmer was not a flower person, what flowers were in mind? I can't recall what the plan had for flowers.
I'm
I
not a
think
flower person either,
it-
so I can't say
it was
either.
Flower bed in front of the barn door, and as well one behind the knee wall bordering the parking lot. And we just really, I mean, the trees, the large, I think specimen trees is what he phrased it as. Those were fine with. The rest of the landscaping was great. It was just the suggested flower beds themselves, not really even the flowers that were picked out. I don't think there were specific ones he had in mind, but it was just the concept of having a flower bed in front of the barn. The
And
committee,
where was the flower bed to be?
right by the barn door, like up
Like
against
right up in front, next to the barn?
yeah, like where the gravel is, not the path, but behind it, how we have the rock bed.
Between the path and the building, in other words. yeah.
Exactly.
I would agree with that. If you're talking about the knee wall, I might suggest maybe some grasses instead of actual flowers. You know, decorative grass that maybe gets to be about 2 feet tall at most.
I think
Because you
that's a good
wouldn't
idea.
You
I
wouldn't
think
want to
garden
call
club
that a
would've
block of building.
That too, just because it's easier to maintain as well. We
get
don't
that.
want flowers that need to get watered every day as well, particularly in the summer if we're not here. So I think the grasses would be pretty low maintenance as well. Be good for everyone involved.
Yeah, you definitely want something that didn't take a lot of water.
Marie, are you comfortable including Janet's comment in your email or otherwise I can add it?
Yes, I can add that.
Okay. All right. Any other comments on the landscaping project? I think we're moving on. I don't think I need any motions on any of that. Stupid computer, still not going to let me in. Close the program. Okay. All right. Report from Commission Chair. Town meeting, is everybody up to speed as to our success there?
We are.
And there were, of course, negative comments. Town meeting is always a difficult format. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, I think it's legitimate for people to have questioned the cost of the basement, but I think we had some good responses, and I'm glad that we prevailed relatively easily.
Yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot of serious pushback on that.
Okay, we're getting more feedback again. I don't know if anybody can make any adjustments.
We're just
Maybe if
not-
we all mute ourselves when we're not talking.
Can you see anything, David, or just,
I cannot see anything. So you guys are going to have to police yourselves and just unmute and then unmute whenever you're ready to have something to say. I'm not calling on anybody. And this may be our last remote meeting, by the way. That's what I'm hoping.
that would be great. Are we gonna be in, if we don't meet remotely, are we gonna be back at Brooks Academy, or are we gonna need to be someplace where there's a camera?
No, I think we'll be at Brooks Academy. That's a good question, though. I didn't really think that through. I'll have to ask that question.
Can you figure a way to include me remotely?
I've already asked if we can still have one remote participation, which means I guess we better have a camera. So I don't know the details yet. And I'm also going to suggest that we may not need to meet possibly until September, but we can decide that before we're done. The feedback seems to have gone away, so I think we're good for that. Okay, I'm going to move on from town meeting to the Massachusetts Cultural Council grant. I just got a standard response saying, thank you for all the time you put in submitting. You were not approved this round. They say that they have some comments from their review team, and I guess they have to transcribe those. Those are supposed to get to me by the end of the month. And when I get them, I will distribute them. Any questions or comments on that one?
No, doesn't seem to be. Janet?
Nope.
Nope.
I think we're good, David.
Okay, whoever that last person was seems to have been the feedback creator.
Is that any better?
That was me.
Yes.
Well, I had said nope before Sandy spoke.
Well, we're not going to worry about it. We don't have too much further to go. Okay, I'm going on to the foundation repairs. After town meeting, I tried to get a meeting scheduled right away. It was then scheduled for 2.5 weeks later on the first day of June, and then it was rescheduled, and I finally got in to meet with Megan, as I mentioned, last Friday of last week. And it was a very positive meeting with Megan, and I'm optimistic that things are going to move a little better right now. The boilerplate for the RFP is mostly in place, so it should not be a difficult task to finish the scope of work. The scope of work would have benefited from some review and input from the town engineer, but I have not been able to get that yet. I think I have enough based on my conversations with private engineers to go forward. So I'm hoping, and I have not been able to achieve this optimism in this project to this point, but I'm hoping to get an RFP completed and ready to go out sometime this month. I have a phone meeting with Megan this afternoon to resolve a few questions that have come up since last Friday. So to this point, things have been slow, and I'm hoping with Megan's involvement, they're going to get better. She still has to justify my faith in her, but I'm very hopeful on that right now. I am the original plan was to get all of the final design done in time to put out to bid in advance of the winter. I now understand that we have a very tight window to do that. So, based on advice I've been given, we're probably going to include in the RFP the town intends to go to bid by January 1st, and we're going to seek people to submit their proposals accordingly. Things are very busy out there. It may affect our ability to go forward at this time, but that's pretty much the short summary of where things stand right now. So again, let me open it up to comments.
I guess the big question is, with all the construction and all the real estate activity and whatnot going on, not to mention the cost and the ability to get supplies, could we be in trouble as far as our funding is concerned?
Seems like every big project in recent years has been in trouble. We have a very hefty contingency built into this project that under today's conditions could easily get eaten up. And I'm not going to be pessimistic on that now. We simply have to get far enough into the project to find out where we stand. We won't know that for a little while.
Right.
Things are very expensive, and labor and design people are very short right now. It's a tough time to be doing projects.
And it's not going to get any better anytime soon.
Now, one of our neighbors had their house built 5 years ago, and their some relatives wanted the same builder. And from 5 years ago, his estimate went to build a house from $200 a square foot to $350 a square foot. That's
A
the
lot
going.
of stories. Yes, there are a lot of stories like that right now.
Yeah.
But we're going to try. The thing is, if it doesn't all come together, then we have to wait a little bit longer. But we're going to proceed in good faith.
Okay.
So we should do.
Okay. And with that, let's go to the next item. Marie, what you got?
Hang on like 30 seconds.
We're hanging.
Okay, sorry about that. Of course, people coming in the front door as I'm about to give my report. Just a couple quick things. I know I announced last time that we are planning to open on June 26th. The first farmers market is going to be Thursday, June 24th, 3 to 6 p.m. We are going to have the Historical Society's annual meeting on the morning of Saturday, June 26th, and then the grand opening of the barn and Brooks Academy will occur right after that. We had a fundraiser walk called Walk Locally for Local History that had a pretty decent turnout, some good media coverage as well. I don't have the exact numbers, but I know it was just about $1,000 that we made through the apparel sales and the walk-in slots. Of course, we did have some expenses against that, so I'd have to reconcile those numbers, but it was pretty good for a kind of a soft, quiet, just getting ourselves back out there kind of fundraiser event. We had Museum Mondays in May, which was sponsored by the Cape Cod Museum Trail. So we offered free admission on Monday, May 17th. That was just to the Kroll Barn. And we had 62 people visit, and we did quite a significant amount in gift shop sales. So, and yeah, we had about 40 people in the first hour, and it was about 62 people for 3 hours that we were open. So that was amazing. So we're hoping that that's a good sign of what the season's going to bring, and we'll have lots of people coming out to see us and see what's happened and what we've done in the past 2 years, really. We're going to start working on a project to do some self-guided walking tours. So we'll have them recorded and give people a link to download. You can play it in your car as you drive around, or you can put some headphones on and do a walking tour as well. That's separate from our Whisper system, which was fully funded, and we did purchase those. I think our last meeting was in March, so maybe not. Since then, we did have fully funded our Whisper project. And the Whispers are right here under my desk. So we're very excited to have those. We do have 30 headsets and 2 transmitters. We also had the entire 3rd grade class of Harwich Elementary School come visit us. We had some classes on Monday. The rest of them were there last Friday. And we talked about cranberries. We showed them the barn and we let them ring the school bell. And it was their first field trip in a year. So they were excited to be out. We were excited to have them. They were so well behaved, really just some great kids, and the teachers were very happy to be able to offer that to their students. So that was pretty good. And we're just finishing up our exhibits, and we'll have them ready at the end of the month. I also met with, at our fundraiser, a woman who's a former teacher who was interested in being on the museum commission now that there was a vacancy because of Peggy's passing. I don't know what the status is on that, but she knows that she had to apply to that position. So, I'm sorry, did you tell her to apply at Town Hall? Yes, she actually had submitted an application in the past, but there were no vacancies on the commission. Oh, that's wonderful. A couple of years ago. Okay, so I will check on that. Yeah, please. I can give you her cell phone number as well if you want to reach out to her with any comments. Yes, I would. All right. I've had in the past people apply for committees and just given up for lack of response from the town, and I just want to make sure that she doesn't lose interest in that. So please send me her information, and I will check with town administration as well. Okay, I will do that. Comments, questions, anyone? Let me just comment. I felt that most of my comments were somewhat negative on my various topics. So Marie, it's always nice to hear some positive stuff coming out. Well, I only tell you the good things, so that's all I want. That's all I want to hear. Other people, anyone?
Everybody's quiet.
Okay. Thank you, Marie. Approval of events, approval of bills, and okay. So I didn't have a lot of progress to report for this meeting. I'm not proposing to have a meeting in July, and I guess of my druthers, we would meet the first week of September. What does anybody else think?
Sounds good. We'll take the summer off.
Works for me.
Okay. One of the items on there is going to be election of our officers, and as always, I'm open to have somebody take on what I'm trying to do right now.
Good luck with that.
I know it. I said it though, didn't I?
Continuity.
Okay.
Good job, David.
And after we get all the building stuff done, then maybe somebody else will take it. So
sounds fair.
We need the front guy for the building stuff.
Yep. Okay, folks. I'm frustrated by this phone stuff. I got to figure out why GoToMeeting isn't working. I'll try to figure that out for next time if we're. I think we'll be on site next time. We'll certainly if we're not meeting till August or September. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, David.
Any final?
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Oh, good.
Second.
There's been a motion to adjourn and seconded, and everybody's approved it.
Aye.
Thanks.